thought, oh, I got a chance, I'll make some good money, because business was booming for them then, you know. They were working in the States on them shows until they imploded. And I went to a New York show. I think that's where I hooked back up with him. I went to a New York show, and he was there. I think I went there to see Paige. And when I was talking to Paige, we went to Beefsteak Charlie's to eat. And said, you got to change your look. You can't be a chicken shit heel. I said, I want to be a chicken shit heel. I'm really good at it. Because, bro, I get Paige credit. Like, he helped me get into WCW. Gave me a great piece of advice here. He goes, nobody wants a chicken shit heel anymore. They're not buying it. You got to be kick-ass. You got to be a tough guy. I said, I'm not a tough guy. He goes, well, fake it. It's a work. All right, I'll be a tough guy. Then he goes, but you need to cut your hair. You need to change your look. I said, man, I'm telling you, my hair's growing out. Like, everybody had mullets then. Nobody grew their hair out. I was like the first guy, well, maybe the Undertaker was, but that was different because he had the Creature Feature Act. I was like the first guy for style to change his hair and grow the whole thing out, as opposed to having the mullet. And this is like 93 or something. Because I don't think Shawn Michaels got rid of his till like 99 or something ridiculous, his mullet. I think Eddie Guerrero just got rid of his. And they're still over in Mexico though. But so I was growing my hair out. I go, Paige, look, I look like a different character now. And I pulled my hair out of the ponytail. And he's like, wow, you do? He goes, yeah, you got to think of something, a new character for it. And then I guess, so me and Art Barr used to talk every day. I mean, every single fucking day. And it somehow never got me in. And Conan turned and became the third Gringos Locos, which was actually the stupidest thing they ever could have done for business, because he was a god there. I mean, he was as big as Hulk Hogan as a babyface, and the people didn't want to see him turn, you know. It was a really stupid thing. He should have stayed a babyface, let me come in as the heel, and then, but whatever, that's business is business. So, Paige, and Paige saw Point Break with Patrick Swayze, and he goes, you know, you got them tattoos on you, and you're a freak anyway. He goes, you know, you need to be like one of those alternative dudes, right? I was like, yeah. Because that's the shit I listened to. That's the way I was. I mean,
grunge was big at the time.
What's that?
Grunge was big at the time.
Yeah, grunge was big, and well, alternative, grunge alternative, and plus, I mean, I had that fucked up childhood, so it wasn't like I had to look far for inspiration into this character, you know, and so I just basically coughed it up out of my life, you know, and so it always irritates when Paige takes credit for the character because he came up with none of it. He just pointed. He goes, look, alternative, go that way. And then I walked down the path and made up, you know, and found all the components, you know, and did it all myself.
Now, were you following ECW at this point before you got into it?
No, I moved to Philly because that's where all the indies were. I'd be like the hub, and I knew I had to come up with a character. So when I left Vince, I knew that I wanted to go back there, and I knew I would be able to someday. But I knew I had to leave and come back as something else. Like if I would have stayed and said, look, I want to wrestle, they would have just made me a jobber. Because perception is reality, so they just see you in a certain light, and that's how you stay. So all they saw me as was Johnny Polo, screwball, goofball manager, you know, a producer guy. So if I said, Vince, I got a new character, it would never got a chance to get off the ground. So I knew I had to leave and come back, and I knew I needed to be on a TV show. So I talked to Cornette, and Cornette promised me to put me in Smoky Mountain in September. But then October came. We'll put you in November. And December came, I'll put you in, you know, it never came. Cornette was never bringing me in. He just blowing smoke up my ass, I guess. You know, I was like Jimmy, we always got along, but, you know. But thank God he did blow smoke up my ass. Because I knew I needed a TV show to get the character over, because I knew there was a three-dimensional aspect to it. You know, whereas most characters are cookie cutters, you can just basically describe in 5 words any character. And so, you know, like the Goon was a hockey player, you know, Isaac Jenkins was a dentist, you know what I mean? Yeah. I knew I needed a TV show to show that this character had depth to him, you know, that there was all these different sides to it. And, because you can't just do that on indies. In the meantime, I was trying to get all the work I can, and so I left messages with Todd Gordon, trying to get books. I figured just work's work, I just need the money. And I started to watch the show, all I heard was it was garbage, you know, it's just garbage wrestling. And then I saw an episode. It was the best show I'd ever seen. I mean, it just blew me away, literally blew me away. I go, I have to be on this show, you know. And we need to take a break in a second. But I go, I gotta be on this show. And so I called Paige up and I said, Paige, I said, you have to get me on the show. Are you friends with Paul? He goes, yeah. He goes, he owes me a favor. I said, you have to. And once again, Paige, like, me and Paige had a really strange, tumultuous friendship, you know. But he did do some big things for me early in my career. And I said, Paige, you got to get me on the show. This is the best show I've ever seen. I was spellbound. I mean, I could not believe that somebody put together something that was so fantastic, you know, with the rock and roll videos. And I mean, the rock videos, but they were cutting edge, and the way he shot things, and the crowd, and the atmosphere. I mean, there was a revolution was going on. I needed to be a part of it. And because this is my passion, you know, this is my love. It's always been my one true love is wrestling. And man, somebody just brought the hottest chick on the dance floor. But not only was she hot, she had a brain, and she could dance, and she could fuck, and she could, you know, I said, I gotta be a part of this. So Paige goes, let's see what I can do. So in the meantime, so he calls, I guess he was gonna call Paul, so I don't know what day it was, I talked to Paige, maybe like a Wednesday, Thursday, something. So it was a Saturday night, so of course I went out and got all fucked up. You know, I was still back in my cocaine stage. I did a fuckload of coke, you know, took like half a dozen halcyons, passed out. You know, lucky I didn't die once again. Wake up like, my roommate comes running in. He goes, you gotta get on the phone. You gotta get on the phone. It's Paige. He needs to talk to you. Yeah, Paige, what? He goes, Paulie's gonna use you. He's gonna start you. He goes, call Paulie right now. Here's the number, you know, and talk to him. I said, oh, fucking great. So I hang up. I call Paulie up, of course, you know, he doesn't pick up the phone, typical Paulie. Tremendous. Call right now. But he did call back like 10, 15, 20 minutes later, you know, and I'm nodding out of consciousness. I'm still filled up, you know, from the night before. And he tells me my starting date and what they're going to do and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, that's great. I hang up. I can't remember what he said. I was so fucking, I was like, I have no idea what he just told me. All I know is I'm starting. So then I was like, fuck, I wonder when I start. I don't want to call him back and say, listen, I'm really too pilled up to remember. He tell me I'm starting. It's not a good, rather auspicious start. So then I was like, all right, I'll go to one of the shows. Let me take this call and then we'll start again. I mean, right.
Paul Heyman weren't really friends or anything before ECW or any kind of relationship or anything.
We knew each other in WCW, but we weren't. I honestly, I don't think he really liked me that much. But maybe he did, maybe he didn't. You know, I didn't get that vibe off him. That, you know, we definitely weren't buddy. You know, but I don't think there was any heat though either. I just don't think we were. You know, we're just acquaintances.
Yeah. What was his initial impression when you told him the whole Raven character idea?
He thought it was going to be like a comedy, I still gonna be a funny comedy guy. He thought it was going to be like just a comedy grunge guy. You know what I mean? He just thought it was going to be Scotty the Body in flannel. You know? Yeah. He didn't realize, you know, like I coughed up my all the bile in my life.
When did you two kind of connect as to like the character and kind of start getting on the same page about it? Like, did he start to understand it right away as soon as you started?
Yeah, as soon as the first time I did it, he just said, I think he blew him away. You know what I mean? The first promo, he's like, because he just didn't expect it. It was kind of funny because me and Paige were talking before I did it. And I don't know if Paige was like, I think Paige just said do it. You know what I mean? Because we were kind of like, because I think Paige was the one that told me that Paulie sees it as like a grungy Scotty the Body. And he's like, so I think, I don't know, I guess me and Paige remembers, I doubt it though. But I think we just kind of went out there. He kind of thought I was going to say one thing, and I just went the complete other way. And when I came back, like, it just clicked with him because, I mean, that character, it was like, I mean, we had a De Niro Scorsese thing, you know? I mean, not that I would ever say I'm that, you know, as good as De Niro, but Paulie is a Scorsese when it comes to this. He's a genius. I mean, I still believe that Paulie's the greatest mind in the history of wrestling, you know, that I've ever met, you know. Maybe not ever, but anybody I've ever met. And something he saw in that character, he just felt, you know what I mean? Because, like, he knew the character as well as I did, you know. He knew, like, if I was ever lost or, you know, or if whatever, anything I needed with that character that I didn't quite get or where I wasn't going or something, I mean, Paulie knew it as well, if not better than I did. You know, like, he felt some sort of empathy for it or some sort of bond to it because, and I almost think that Paulie thought that character was him, maybe. Like, you know how Vince's characters were, like when he did Lex Luger, because Vince is a very patriotic guy. The $1 Million Man, that's Vince too. You know what I mean? It's Vince portraying his character through other people until he did his own character. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I mean, I think in many ways Raven was Paulie's vision of what he wanted to be on camera, maybe. I don't know.